going to Dashi Station. It just isn't fair. Dashi Station. I'm never gonna get out of here. I was going to Dashi Station. On the line. Dashi Station. I pick up some power converters.
As we all know, the past couple of days and weeks that have been happening since the release of the Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker trailer, it seems as though we finally have gotten an influx of Star Wars news or retaliation in regards to what was and what was not presented within the trailer, and therefore more so presented at Star Wars Celebration. Nonetheless, it seems as though Avengers Endgame has finally been able to hide up any problems or rumors in regards to Star Wars Episode 9 The Rise of Skywalker. Yet it seems as though Mark Hamill, as we all know just a few days ago, was able to show his and share his opinions on the fact that there was missed opportunities in regards to allowing the original cast to come back one final time, at least in one movie, especially Episode 7, to reunite to continue their previous story. Nonetheless, after Mark Hamill came out with the news that he felt this way about the failure to allow the original cast to be together, Twitter trolls and SJWs swarmed the internet, calling him every single name in the book, even though it's obvious that Mark Hamill is none of these things. So he apologized, something you're never to do with the SJWs, since we know that they basically hold a grudge harder than anyone. Nonetheless, it seems as though Lando Calrissian himself, Billy D. Williams, has come out on Twitter to support Mark Hamill and get the flames off of his back. As you can see, in this article from CBR.com, Billy D. Williams responds to controversial Mark Hamill tweet. It seems as though, more than anything, that the news media is making a big deal over this. Now, I'm making a big deal over this because of one simple fact. It's nice to see that the original trilogy cast members are supporting each other and defending each other, even in the face of absolute internet annihilation. So it seems as though, more than anything, that Star Wars original cast members are stronger and more together in unity than most Star Wars fans currently, especially within the state of Star Wars because of Rian Johnson's terrible and horrendous The Last Jedi. What really shocks me and surprises me is the fact that even though Billy D. Williams probably knows the fact that Star Wars will once again go back to its old formulaic self, and should I mention that this is not really Star Wars, but more Disney Star Wars, of their formulaic layer of bring back an old character and then humiliate them, disgrace them, and kill them, even though, of course, Billy D. Williams does have the diversity points that Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford do not have, even though he knows that they will probably absolutely defame his character, he is being nice enough to support Mark Hamill on Twitter. Now, what exactly does his tweet say, you might ask? Well, I have it right here. As you can see, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Billy D. Williams, tweeted back to Mark Hamill, at Hamill himself, and said, ... You should be used to getting everyone's knickers in a twist. ... I'm gonna add in an extra dot. Part of your charm, man. As we can obviously see from this Twitter tweet repost that Billy D did to Mark Hamill, he's obviously trying to make Mark Hamill maybe perhaps feel a little bit better about himself. You know, Billy D. Williams, I don't know, is a part of a big corporation like Disney or anything in regards to that sort, where he would understand that some tweets are monitored to be able to put certain things out there. He might just be one of those loose cannon cops. I could see Lando being like that. I could see Billy D. Williams being like that. He's definitely one of those people who's a hothead. I don't know, maybe not a hothead, but he's obviously someone that is a loose cannon, I suppose, where you really can't control him, I think. I think Billy D. Williams is probably the perfect semblance of that. In so doing, the fact that he actually came out on Twitter and was like, you know, you should be used to doing it, man. It's part of your charm. I wonder if he's possibly even hinting back at the fact that Mark Hamill was the one who was going on about The Last Jedi being a terrible film and how much he hated his character, Luke Skywalker, and how it's totally inconsistent in regards to the narrative structure of Luke Skywalker within the past trilogy, and how it's totally against his character. And he's like, dude, I've been with this character for decades. I know this character inside and out. He is me. I am him. I know this character better than you do, Rian Johnson, who just started to like Star Wars just now, all of a sudden you're decided, hey, I'm getting a lot of money and this is a very possible reputation booster, so here you go, now I'm liking Star Wars a lot more. Mark Hamill's like, I've liked this thing for a lot longer than you, buddy boy, and more than that, I've been a part of it and raised and bred by the sole creator of Star Wars himself, and I was there at the very beginning. You might want to listen to me. And Rian Johnson was like, no, man, I'm good. I got a round head. It's perfectly circular, just like the circle of life, which means you're born and then you're eaten and killed. And therefore, that's what happened to poor Mark Hamill in Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. And what happened to Rian Johnson after the movie came out? He was eaten and thrown out. Disgraced, totally. Because of the fact that he just couldn't keep his mouth shut. And yeah, you get what you get. Star Wars is eventually going to be totally and absolutely dead. And though you might think that Star Wars is dead currently, and I have to agree most of it is pretty much dead, it is not a total finality. What it truly is lost potential. And I'm sure a large majority of Star Wars fans would agree with that sentiment. Star Wars is a franchise with unlimited possibilities. But, in the wrong hands, it seems as though we're going down nothing more than a road of identity politics. They don't care about characters, and they don't care about story. They don't care about personal anguish, tragedy, and despair. They don't care about core principles and values. What do they care about? Representation. Who can they have on screen that looks different? Do they have a different sexual orientation? Are they binary and gender fluid? Because that's what's most important to these people. These people who own all of the Hollywood elitist company types. Star Wars, Marvel, basically Disney. And not just Disney either, but all the other corporations in Hollywood. All of them speak with the same loud, surrounding, powerful voice. The only difference is that Marvel and Star Wars is a lot more dangerous than a lot of the other Hollywood companies in regards to Disney. And the reason why is because of this. A lot of those companies make films that a lot of normal moviegoers do not go and see. Therefore, they are not shown and propagated agendas. But you put someone in front of a Marvel film or a Star Wars film, and the mainstream audiences will flock to it like sheep going to pasture. And they will go because it looks good, flashy, action-packed, funny, good characters, and funny moments, and good moments, classic moments. And when they are constantly bombarded by a message of hatred, that's what SJWs believe in, a message of absolute hate, then the people who watch it and soak it in will eventually start garnering that same disposition, if they do not know what to check for. Therefore, Marvel and Star Wars not only is important to our cultural heritage as Americans, and just as people in general, but because of the fact that it is also indoctrinating the youth of today, as well as those who know no better, who don't understand how these companies work, how they try to push their agendas. And here we are, sitting about on our asses, not doing a diddling thing. The only thing that we really can do in regards to Hollywood is vote with our wallets. And I highly enjoy Endgame. And I highly enjoy previous old Star Wars. And I will give my money to films and shows and pieces of entertainment and media that likewise reflect the same core values and beliefs of character, personality, over agenda-driven storytelling. What are you going to do? How are you going to fight this quote-unquote fight? Are you going to go spend your money on garbage tier films? Are you going to support entertainment that's going to brainwash our kids? I know a lot of people say that's a tinfoil hat theory, but let's be honest. If you haven't watched kids television shows recently, you need to turn on the TV. It's everywhere. I'm willing to go ahead and start buying up and saving up old television shows from the good old days, from the mid-2000s and the late 2000s and earlier, in order for my kids to have good entertainment that they can watch and rewatch, rather than the garbage that's coming out nowadays. And I think that's the most important thing about this whole reason why we're fighting. It's for kids. It's for our future. It's not just for us. It's for others too.
Well, I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
You can waste time with your friends when your chores are done. Come on.
Well, I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.